for funds. That's where we are. We have to keep our resources so that we're able to do things. We're going to rely on these people who are elected to these particular positions to review, to examine, to explore every possible thing that they can do in order to bring about those resources that are needed in order to meet the goals that they have set. You've heard their opinions. You know, I think, what they stand for. And I'm going to say at this time, if there is any particular item that is just burning a hole through you that you want to ask, if you ask it politely and in a way that these people can respond, I would open the floor now for a couple questions. Is there anyone who has anything that we have not addressed tonight that you would like to ask?
I'd like to ask of the school board what each of their stands are on the music department as you're cutting funds and thinking of things. Music to me is very important, and I just would like to know what you all think on band, choir, those kinds of things, and cuts, because you hear a lot about that at the national level, people.
May I put that into a broader context? Let's just
Sure.
call it the arts.
Sure.
Because that's the national conversation right now, is if there's anything we can do, let's just get rid of all those arts, because they'll get it somewhere else. Let's hear from the school board. Mike?
I was a band student all through middle school and high school. I was also a choir student through middle school and high school. So I have a passion for music. I love to sing. And I attribute that to my band teacher and my choir teacher, Mr. Smith and Mrs. McQuirk. And you know, I would hate to see anything happen to any of the arts. And that would, because I think it's extremely important too. Matter of fact, at band camp, that's where I met my wife, so.
Well, obviously we have to have band camp.
Yeah, right at UCM. So no, I would hate to see us even consider that. In my opinion, it should be a last. This is the way I'd sum it up. The last programs that were put into place should be the first ones to go. The ones that have been around forever, music, the arts, should be those are the ones that should stay. They should
Part
be
of the healthy balance.
Yeah, and I think you have to do that, and that would be the way I prioritize.
I feel the same way. I think that, you know, we need to educate the whole brain, the left and right brain, and I think those arts are so important to that. I too, like Mike, am a singer. I love to sing. Music is in my life. My daughter and I carry on musical conversations all the time, like we literally sing to each other while we're talking. It's just part of my life.
La La Land.
Yeah. I really believe that those types of activities lend themselves to making a holistic person. And actually, music has been shown to help hone mathematical skills and other things. So I think they're very important, and I would agree with Mike that they should not be cut.
I'll also add a little bit to that. If you kind of notice, we've got a large presence in the music in general. So we have choir, we got show choir, we've got plays going on, things that when I was in high school, it has grown tremendously. Our arts program, our ceramics, and this is right here, has done tremendously at engaging students. Even my son, who I thought had no artistic ability, is pulling stuff out right and left. I'm like, how are you able to do that? So he's engaged in a whole different skill set that I never thought he had. So I think the arts in this school has really done well. You know, as part of the band and the music, as far as engaged with the sports, you know, basketball games and football games, arts on the wall here. I mean, it's just part of school completely. So it's a good package to keep. And, you know, again, we've got a lot of parents that stepped up. Those instruments are bought with parents' money. So again, you know, the school just kind of puts up a teacher, and then it just kind of grows to that point. So it's one I wouldn't like to see at all.
Thank you for the laughter tonight. Laughter is good for the soul. Do you have a question?
Thank you. First, I want to say thank you for supporting the arts. That's fantastic to hear. I was wanting to ask the school board candidates what your plans would be to help with teacher retention for our highest quality teachers. What steps would you take to try to retain them?
No good?
Everybody got it.
I think first, there has to be a work environment that is conducive for them to work in. That's first and foremost. I mean, if you hate to come to work because of people you're working with, that's a problem in itself. The next thing is salary and benefits. You know, I was sitting on a committee, a school committee here just a couple months ago, and that was one of the things that we talked about is if you look at our salary and benefit structure, starting out, it looks really good. But as we move into the master's degrees, we start really falling away from the other school districts. And so it's important for us, if we want to retain our teachers, we have to figure out how we can bring those salary and benefits you know, together with what other school districts are doing. And you know, we have to give these teachers the understanding and make them feel comfortable knowing that their job's not on the line every contract year. You know, I think sometimes we teachers, staff, they see cuts happening. They know the budget's tight, and when they start worrying about whether they're going to have a job the following year, the first thing they do is jump ship. You know, they're like, I got to get out of here because this is not looking good for me. Especially if you're a new first or second year teacher, because you know their thought process is we get it first because we're the newest. You know, seniority rules, and so I think that's we have to make them feel comfortable knowing that we're going to do our darndest to work on attrition and plug you in at somewhere and not cut you out of a job, so that you have a comfort level of knowing that you're going to be employed the next year.
So that's the tangibles.
Okay.
Then there's the intangibles. They need to know they're appreciated, because at the end of the day, they've probably had 14 different hard problems that they've had to deal with, and they need to know they're appreciated. And I've seen lots of good teacher recognition, teacher appreciation, not only from the board, but from the foundation. So I think speaking of working with another organization, working with the foundation is probably very important too. And that gets more of that community involvement. But, you know, you got to show that you can progress and be rewarded to progress, both financially and in the intangibles.
I think it's also very important that there is a clear method for any individual employed by the district to feel free to speak up when they do think there is a problem, and to have a clear conflict resolution procedure in place. Because, you know, it only takes one bad apple to ruin it for the whole bunch, right? And so, and sometimes, you know, what if that bad apple is the person that, you know, has to write your review or whatever? You know, you see that in the workplace too. There has to be a clear pathway for people to voice their concerns in a respectful manner, to treat everyone with dignity and respect, but you still have to feel like you don't have an animal over your head if you want to make a complaint about someone who maybe is your supervisor. I think that's very important. And I don't really know, not being on the board already, I don't really know what is in place for that, but I think that is key. I think that is very important.
Well, not just a complaint, but if they've got a better idea.
Yeah.
They need an avenue to get that better idea without necessarily circumventing their leadership. But on the other hand, if they have been stomped on, they need a way out.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know that
Tonight we have, I'm going to cut this. We've been sitting for a while, and I hope that you people have enjoyed the give and take. It was meant to give you an opportunity to tell these people what you stand for and what they can expect of you if you are elected to the position that you are seeking. For you all, it was your opportunity to hear this. The better informed you are, the better decisions you will make. I want to, before we quit, thank the Chamber for doing this. Lisa Baker and Diane back there, they're back there in the back. And the amount of work that they put in just to make this happen. So thank you for coming tonight. I hope you have enjoyed it and benefited from this conversation. Enjoy the refreshments.
Mary Fresh first.
Or maybe
I think you did.
Good job, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Good job. Great job. Good luck.